1974, Florida's Tampa Bay area is awarded the National Football League's 27th franchise. One Buccaneer place becomes the new home of the Bucs in June of 1976. And finally, early in July, the new training and office complex is ready to receive its first professional football team. Preparations are made to receive over 90 veterans, free agents, and rookies. In the equipment room alone, the Buccaneers spend almost $250,000. But a football team takes its character from its people, and only when 40 men take the field for the first time as members of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will their welcome to the NFL be complete. John McKay was one of the most successful college coaches in history. At the University of Southern California, his Trojan teams won an incredible 76% of their games. And McKay is one of only 3 college coaches to ever win 4 national championships. But McKay now scans a new horizon. He begins his tenure with 20 untested draft choices, 33 players gleaned in the veteran allocation draft, and 40 free agents.
Now, in the book, I hope you all read my message, because that's about the last message you're going to get from me. I don't believe, as I said in that book, that I should do a lot of talking. I think that some coaches actually talk their way out of football, and I've been in it for 27 years, and I'm still getting paid. Not a hell of a lot, but I'm still getting paid. Well, don't believe what you read in the paper, fellas, but if you do need some money, let me know. You will find out I am the least talking coach in America. If a guy's real good, I don't bother him. I might give some tips to you, like run faster or something like that someday, or catch the ball without a way to go, or watch the draw. It's 3rd and 27. Obvious things.
It's to you, it's to you. You're gonna run the curl. And you're gonna hustle. That's all right. You had to catch his mitt, you had to cut it.
True to his word, John McKay says little on the practice field. He is instead an overseer, and while ultimately responsible for the team as a whole, it is his hand-picked coaching staff that must develop the Bucs as individual football players.
If that was O.J. Simpson, or a great running back in the NFL, a super back, there's no anywhere you're going to tell me, the defensive back, I'm going to run after this man full speed. Don't have any base at all, get my feet like this, and tackle this dummy going like that. You can't do it. We won't do it here. Come here, get a base, set, and wrap it up.
When you come in here, the most important thing is here that you sink your shoulder hard, stick your head in under here, and get your power line and get a hit. Don't finesse it. You got to have some muscle.
John, come back again. Come back again now. You're thinking boom and first step, and then we can come on.
Hut. Work your way through it.
Now you got to take more through it than that. Fight it. Boom. Get up and under those armpits. That's good.
So every time you come out of a break, you should be down in a football position to catch the ball here, or go up to get it, or move inside, or move outside.
And the thing is, we're depending on you never to let this guy inside, but we don't want you to go to fall in love with him either. He takes a step down, go down. You're going to push him off, now come back. You know something's wrong. Hell, this is no man's land. This is like a war down here. This is how Custer felt when he was on defense down there in the goal line. All them Indians coming after him. Come on, Timmy, take your turn. You can throw up on a machine, you won't hurt it. This is the difference between winning and losing. When you're throwing up, we go stop the game. Come on, head out. Yeah, Pete.
Under the scrutinizing gaze of the Buccaneer assistant coaches, the team begins to come together, and Buck training camp settles into the pleasing rhythm of work well done.
Come on, Earl, come on, Earl, come on, Earl, come on, Earl. Good, you want to run through it, Earl. That's good, Bill. Open, open, open. All right. That's better. All right.
That's it, that's it.
Good, good.
That's it, good. That's better.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Yeah.
After 7 weeks of training camp, the Bucks are ready to present their act to the hometown fans.
In 1969, the legend of Gatorade embarked on an historic journey from the swamp of Gainesville to the battle-hardened turf of the NFL. The baby back ribs weren't the only thing getting basted in the heat of Kansas City.
E.J. Hollop, the toughest guy on the team, kept running out of gas.
Over 71,000 fans turn out to officially welcome the team to the Tampa Bay area in the Buccaneers' first home game in history against the cross-peninsula arch-rival Miami Dolphins. It is a welcome to the NFL that the entire Buccaneer family is dedicated to rewarding by dedicating their future to winning football.
Thank you, Ray. May I say that we're here for one reason and one reason only. And that's to bring the fans great professional football. Coach McKay and Ron Wolf, their entire staff, are dedicated to giving you a winning team.
No team has ever fielded a winning team in its maiden NFL season. 9 weeks of training camp and 6 exhibition games can barely familiarize players with each other, let alone mold them into a complete and polished unit. When the Tampa Bay season of '76 began in Houston, the Buccaneers found out just how far they still had to go. For John McKay, his staff, and players, 1976 was one long and torturous test. It began with a loss to Houston that was repeated 13 times, ending with a loss to New England. The difficult task of forging a team with players who had been together for only a short period was made virtually impossible by an injury blight that reached epidemic proportions. All told, 17 Buccaneer players went down for the season. Whatever unit development had taken place was lost for now, as injuries and the very fact that they were so new to each other pulled the welcome mat from under Tampa Bay's season. But from within the adversity of a winless season, there must be a ray of hope. And for the Buccaneers, the very injuries that ruined their season may also have provided a spark. Young players like 6'8", 270-pound offensive tackle Steve Young, the Bucs' #3 draft choice, were forced to develop their skills in the cauldron of league play. Young would be required to quickly assimilate the techniques and skills developed during training camp.
Okay, now you were fine except you overextended it. You took the right first step when he started out there. Just don't do it. Just be sure that you're always trying to stay in front of him. Try to stay in front. Hey, all right, now keep him wide. Keep him wide. Be the basketball player. Be the basketball player. The reason that you were just about in collapse there is they got together. You can't go in that direction by stepping and getting the feet there, because there's a point. As soon as you put that foot down there saying, I'm going to move that one, you got both of them together, and that's when he collapses you. You've got to shuffle it that way.
Young's summer camp cram course was to be tested sooner than anyone expected. For in the Bucs' first regular season game, Dave Revis was lost for the year. Young proved he could handle the rigors of pass blocking, a skill not required of him at the University of Colorado, and his run-blocking talent meshed well with tackles Mike Current, Charles Little, and Steve Wilson. Guards Howard Fest and Tom Allwood, and center Dan Reisig. The unit had a good blend of youthful intensity and veteran savvy. Offensive line play meant constant effort, holding a block as long as possible, then getting up and blocking some more, clearing a path for Buck backs Lewis Carter, number 32, the team's leading rusher, rookie Jimmy DeBose, Charlie Davis, and Ed Williams, number 43, who gave it everything they had. Williams is an excellent blocker, and along with tight ends Bob Moore, Jack Novak, or Fred Puggage, the Buccaneers had a solid 7-man blocking wall. On this play, 5 offensive linemen controlled the front 4, leaving the 6th lineman and a running back free to take on 2 linebackers. With the 2 linebackers cleaned out, the ball carrier reaches the secondary untouched. The Bucs also handled the 3-4, center on nose guard, tackle on end, guard pulling to meet the outside linebacker. 3 perfectly executed blocks send the Buck back to 6 points. Without a real breakaway back, the Buck offensive line contribution was somewhat maligned in '76. But in '77, a true game breaker comes to the Buccaneers. Number 28, Anthony Davis, one of McKay's greatest running backs at USC, will add his unique talents and excitement to the Tampa Bay offense. Steve Spurrier, number 11, and rookie quarterback Parnell Dickinson have some fine receivers to throw to. Number 86, Bob Moore, has the speed to be a deep threat from the tight end position and has a knack for making the tough catch. A pleasant surprise was unheralded Jack Novak, number 80, who gave the Buccaneers another good blocking and catching tight end. At one wide receiver position, John McKay, number 89, used precision patterns, repeatedly working the short out, then turning it up to snare an occasional bomb. While McKay relied on soft hands and hard-cutting patterns, the other outside receiver used sprinter speed, bursting out of the blocks on the opposite side of the field from McKay. Morris Owens, number 85, flew by defenders to haul in 6 touchdown passes. Not all of them were this easy, for Owens rarely avoids contact, giving himself up to run high-risk but essential middle zone crossing patterns. Owens led the Bucs in receptions and scoring, and along with speedster receivers Freddie Douglas and Isaac Higgins, quickness will be a critical cog in the future of Tampa Bay offensive football.
Before Mr.
really bit into John McKay's defense. Typical was the case of Calvin Peterson. Peterson, a 3-year veteran linebacker from the Dallas Cowboys, has big play potential. An injury cut Peterson down for 4 games. When he returned, the big play was back, but so was the injury, as he joined namesake linebacker Jim Peterson on the injured list, putting additional responsibility on Richard Wood, Larry Ball, and Jimmy Gunn. Number 1 draft pick Leroy Selmon suffered a similar fate. Reporting late because of the college all-star game, Selmon had to undergo a crash course, but worse, he reported with an injury. Though he performed well, by the 9th game of the season, a new injury cost the Bucs Selmon's boundless talent for the rest of the season. An indication of his value was that in the 9 games before Selmon was hurt, the Bucs compiled 20 sacks. They got only 4 more the rest of the season, and Selmon was a healthy part of the Bucs squeeze of O.J. Simpson, holding him to just 39 yards. The other part of the brothers Selmon, number 2 draft pick Dewey, number 61, will be tried at linebacker next year. For the defensive line slots will be filled by brother Leroy and other young veterans. Number 66, Pat Toomey, brought 7 years of pro playing experience with the Cowboys and Bills to his defensive end position. Number 78, Council Rudolph, lent 5 years of NFL play with the Cardinals to the other defensive end slot. Two-year pro and former 5th man in Baltimore's sack pack, Dave Pear, number 76, effectively jammed the middle. Add a developing Glenn Robinson, a healthy Leroy Selmon, and unit play will also develop. A good example was the Bucs secondary, the only defensive unit that stayed fairly constant all year. Number 33, Mark Cotney. Number 27, Ricky Davis. Number 25, Curtis Jordan. Number 40, Mike Washington. Ken Stone, number 28. And a quick forcing sweep stifler, Danny Reese, number 46, showed the benefit of playing together. Getting to know each other quite well, the Buccaneers secondary ranked 7th in the conference in pass defense in their first season as a unit. Coming up quickly to take on the sweep, the Bucs secondary supported the run defense, and nobody did it as well as secondary sticker Danny Reese, number 46. With Reese showing the way, the Buc defense occasionally made it safer to be on the field than on the sideline. No place to safe from these punishing pirates who prowl the football field, much like their namesake stormed the high seas. Buccaneer defense gave Tampa Bay fans some exciting moments in 1976, and in fact made Tampa Bay history when Danny Reese scored the first touchdown in the team's history. But that was typical of the Bucs season. When you came to a Tampa Bay Buccaneer football game, you never knew what you were going to see. Expansion blues led to some wild occurrences, strange reactions, and incredible plays. Because they were so new, the Bucs needed a lot of practice. Punter, place kicker Dave Green taking it to extremes, rehearsing while the game was going on, and becoming a part of the Bucs offense on occasion with onside kicks and pass receptions. Circumstances forced the Bucs to be wide open, and the result was excitement for Buccaneer fans. A surprise-a-game frolic that matched the team symbol, a swashbuckling, robust Buccaneer. A Buccaneer football game was the newest happening in the Tampa Bay area, as professional football brought its sights and sounds to treat the eyes and ears of an eager new marketplace. Though Tampa Bay was winless in '76, a Buccaneer game was a 2.5-hour carnival of color and action. An independent Chamber of Commerce survey showed that the Bucs had pumped $25 million into the Tampa Bay area economy. Pro football had arrived, and it can only get better. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will enter the 1977 season knowing full well that the worst is behind them. During 1976, lessons were learned, a team got to know each other, and a town began to know its team. All are a welcome addition to the NFL.